Hello and welcome to Flesh and Pod, a Flesh and Blood podcast. My name is Abbie and I am your host. With me, as always, are Logan and Jordan. So, Logan, what did you do in Flesh and Blood this weekend?
I played some some blitz on Thursday.
Ooh.
Trying to find out if my dreams were memes or my memes were dreams. We accomplished a 27 damage KO turn.
Okay.
Which is fun.
You're dead.
We rolled some dice. The dice were good. We also played some Kasai. Turns out that you can very easily attack with a Centauri Saber for 10 plus.
Is that good in a format where your health is at 20?
Yeah, it might be okay.
Okay.
Especially against Benji when they start at 17.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the cuteness of, okay, I'm gonna attack you with this saber for 5. All right, well, here's this one for 13. And it's like, what? Wait, what? What the fuck just happened? It's like, yeah, well, somebody let me get off a blood on her hands with all 6 copper tokens. And let me tell you something. When you just get to say blood on her hands, all 3 modes twice, here's a twinning blade, break my courage of blade hold, here's 7 attacks that I pay 0 for with some buffs. Are we done here?
Are we done? Would you
that
like
feels
to
pretty
continue?
good.
You can't concede, but you would probably like to.
You'd probably like to. Then I played in a ProQuest yesterday, which went horribly. The Iowa crew decided to divide and conquer, and the Conqueror went north. And Dagan White did take down the Minnesota ProQuest, so congrats there. He
what
opened
a crazy person.
Yeah, madman. He did open the gold foil Courage of Blade hold. It can be yours for the low price of 2.5k.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a pretty good one. And but us in the South did not do so well. I 1-3'd playing Starvo. I'm very glad that I have a couple weeks so I don't have to ever play Starvo again. The room, especially in Missouri, felt very prepared. There was a lot of Starvos at the bottom tables. So, yeah, that room felt like it knew it was up. I played against, I get paired against a car mate, round 1, which never is great.
Sure.
But Ben L, the winner of the People's Deck Box, handed me a good loss. And then in my round 3, I played against a very good Prism player. Executed the plan remarkably well, and made me feel like even though I had them down to 1, I could never push past that last point of damage, no matter what.
Oh man,
just got styled on.
Sure.
And it let me know that okay, I can put down Starvo now. Like, people are ready, and it might not have caught on everywhere, but Prism was a big winner this week in general. It looked like we have Hayden, Dale putting up insane numbers with Prism.
2 PTQ wins this weekend, right?
2x.
Yeah, a guy's just like flying around Australia and New Zealand, just collecting the gold foils.
Yep, just collecting the foils. And then Dale and Matt coming out the booth and winning 1-2 with Prism.
Guy's a freak too.
I mean, I don't know that I feel like I watch some of these other players and I'm just like, wow, I am dog shit.
You don't get to be good at football and get to be good at Flesh and Blood. Like, you don't get to be like a top 2% athlete in the world and get to be
you don't
good
get
at
to
a card
be
game.
Well, no, you do. Only if you're Cassius Marsh or Dalen Mack. That's it. That's the list.
Yeah. You don't get to get drafted and win a PTQ in the same week. You know?
Yeah, you don't get to be a D1 stud and then win a PTQ after your D1 football career is over and you're into your pro football career. But apparently you do.
Yeah.
But wait, that's just, there's so much impressive about all of that I just can't really put it into words.
There's such different skills. It's gross. Yeah,
you just kind of shake your head. It's like that's a well-rounded individual is what that is.
Well, and it's also absurd because it's our crossover of our fandom.
Yeah,
right. Like, we're both like massive football sports guys and then massive card game guys, and you're like, you don't get to. Could you imagine if I don't know, like if Bryce Harper or Mike Trout was like, oh yeah, by the way, I sling Prism. You know, we'd be like, what the shit?
I'd be like, okay, so you don't get to have You don't get to be top 5 lifetime fucking war and then roll in with Prism and school me. Like,
maybe
or roll in with Rhinar and win an event. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you swing a bat and a club, that's bullshit.
Exactly.
But I do feel like I'm the real winner on the weekend, though. And Abbie, I apologize, but some bread talk's about to happen. And
oh yeah, let's talk the bread.
I consider cake to be a subset of bread.
No, what?
Cake,
what?
Cake is a bread.
No.
Like,
okay.
It is bread.
I'm gonna let you say what you want to say about cake, but we'll table this discussion.
We went to the Jack Stack barbecue in Kansas City, which is still my favorite barbecue joint in this country, bar none. And the pandemic had made me not have my Jack Stack for the last few years, or last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been. And I rolled into there with the two folks I was with, neither ever having been to Jack Stack. We waited for a table for like 2 hours, and they were excited after tasting the food, have waited 2 hours. Now the big thing here is I ordered 3 desserts. All 3 of these desserts were carrot cake.
Oh,
1 to eat there and 2 to go.
Okay, reasonable.
This carrot cake will make you see Christ. It is it is the kind of carrot cake that inspires Jonestown style delusions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so I have to just shout out, if I can get sponsored by Jack Stack, my life would be over, because I would be dead from the crown rib in probably 3 weeks.
That's so great.
It's a giant beef rib that just falls off the bone as soon as you pick it up. And I mean, and I'm not a very emotional human. I've been accused of being a robot numerous times in my life, but I had tears in my eyes as I was eating this carrot cake. I was just so happy to finally be consuming this again. That there are 2 sitting downstairs right now, and one's getting eaten today, and the next one's getting eaten tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be sad that I don't have it.
Because you're out of it until the next time?
Yeah, it's not a carrot cake.
How far of a drive is it for you?
3 hours. 3 hours.
Okay, so it's not like a very easy go get for...
I just can't, I can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Jack Stack today. That's not how this works.
If it were like an hour and a half, you could reasonably say like, I'm gonna go
I would turn and burn that in a heartbeat.
Right.
But it was, I feel like I was still the real winner on the weekend, by getting that carrot cake, getting that bread, and
their menu looks delicious.
She's on it now. Abbie was like, "Oh shit."
I love barbecue. So
Kansas City is the best barbecue I've ever had. Best city for barbecue. Full stop.
Yeah, if you look at the crown rib on that menu, it is a giant beef rib. It is like a half pound of the best, effectively pot roast you'll ever have in your life. Because I don't know what fucking sorcery they have, or if they just literally have a wizard that is saying incantations over the corpse of a cow, like how this actually happens. But they end up with this beef rib that is a perfect crust on the outside and literal fall apart moist as shit on the inside. And I shit you not, I just pulled up the rib and the meat slid off of it, and both of my other people that were with me, their mouths were agape. Like they'd never seen anything like this. And there's like, what the shit is that? And I gave them each a couple bites of the rib, and they're just like, oh my Christ,
yeah, that's
punted. I'm like, there's no punting here, but this is also the correct answer. Right. 2 things can be simultaneously true.
Right. That's the dream.
So I wanted to make sure that we give a shout out, because I'm a food person. I'm not fat on accident, and it's taken years of practice. And this is one of my favorite places to be fat. And I was just happy to be fat again at Jack Stack. So shout outs to Jack Stack, shout outs to Kansas City in general. Shout outs to my opponents yesterday too, because every single one of them, no bad experience.
That's dope.
It
was a 1-3 drop, or was it just a 4-round tournament?
No, 1-3 drop.
Okay.
We were at the point of like, I had gotten to the point that I was hating playing Starvo so much that I'm like, I just don't want to.
That's completely reasonable.
I think the deck is plenty beatable. I think that it's still very good, but I am so sick of just playing the deck, playing the mirror, feeling like a brain dead idiot. Whenever I just like I'm trying to pilot it, it's really deceiving, because there are micro decision making processes in the deck that are important, but some of it isn't. And so it's very easy to just shut your brain off. And so the challenge is staying engaged while playing the damn thing.
It is not a fun deck to play. I definitely
not at
agree.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I would much rather be playing something that the deck itself is keeping me engaged in what's going on. Mainly because I can't trust myself to just like push myself to the level of engagement to make these micro decisions in a way that matters. So I'm going to take the next 2 weeks because I have a Magic event next weekend. So I've got a week off of ProQuests, and so I'm going to take that time and try to learn something that I would feel comfortable playing. That just kind of is more is more interesting to me. That can keep my interest, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's my flesh and blood for the week. I will stop occupying this podcast with my bread talk.
Yeah, you did more flesh and blood than I did this week, so I think it's reasonable that you chatted it up because I didn't play at all. The Columbus PTQ we're recording this on Sunday. The Columbus PTQ was on Saturday. I didn't play in it, despite being like pre-regged. I kind of had some plans that were up in the air and wanted to do that stuff instead. And
did you go to the crew match?
Well, that was the plan that was up in the air. There was some people coming in from out of town that I hadn't seen in a while. It was the home opener. Ended up not doing anything on the Saturday. Like those plans fell through, and then I had already given up my seat to the PTQ and was kind of like, I felt okay about that, like I didn't want to really go play, largely for the same reason that you said. Starfield's not that fun. It's really powerful, but it's not that fun. Columbus did not adapt as well as your room apparently did, where 4 of the top 8 were Starvos. Flush and Pod, friend of the show. Blitz Monkey made top 8, made top 4, excuse me. So that's pretty cool. I don't know about the rest of the Columbus crew actually, and they're playing in one today in Dayton. Okay. But yeah, I kind of just was like, after last weekend, I haven't felt. Yeah, it's not fun to play against. It's not fun to play. I don't want to play the mirror of that ever. Jesus.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
My brain definitely took a different turn on this deck where I'm just like, from last weekend, I was just like, I was just thinking this deck's too powerful. And my thinking changed, like, no, this deck's not too powerful. This deck's too fucking boring.
Yeah.
And this deck, if this deck were to get nerfed or banned or anything, it's not because it's too good. It's because it's just miserable.
It's not fun to play against for the exact same reason too.
Right.
Like your outplay is like limited to a large degree. They're still just rolling bones against you, but like the bones are like weighted.
Like rolling bones,
but it's not as fun as rolling bones.
It's no. Yeah. I would 1,000% rather be at a craps table.
Like, I would rather play Rhinar, right? From the perspective of like what's
Rhinar
enjoyable.
Is a craps table, so yes.
Right. Yeah, like from the perspective of what's enjoyable, I would rather be playing Rhinar than like Bravo.
I also want to just make sure that I touch on this really quick. There is a card called Bad Beats. And as a Magic player, poker player, gambler in general, with numerous bad beat stories to my credit, being able to just slam a card that says Bad Beats is
great.
It's kind of great.
Yeah, oh for sure. To be able to like, and they can't, and if they want to win, they can't walk away from your bad beat story.
Not at all.
Yeah. Because if you started to tell me a bad beat story, I would not want to listen. But like,
well, if you knew the bad beat story would result, it was told in my normal way of telling stories, and also it would result in my misery at the end, you would 100% listen to that story.
That's true. Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's true friendship. Like, random person off the street comes up to me and wants to tell me their bad beat story. Please leave me alone. like, dude, I don't care. If you were winning the tournament, I assume I wouldn't. You wouldn't be telling me this. You wouldn't have a story for me if you were winning the tournament. Like, I don't need to hear how bad it is.
I mean, I just have to tell you what the fuck's a notion thief, and you will understand the bad beat stories that are coming.
God, you know what? I'm mad at Steve.
You let him draw 8 cards. Never mind. Yeah.
That'll have to be on a. I know we've talked about it briefly on here, but that'll have to be on like a FAP After Dark one time.
The FAP After Dark,
yeah. That's a good story. That's like the origin story. So
it is the origin story.
Yeah. It is. But no, I didn't actually play any Flesh and Blood this week. I consumed a lot of Flesh and Blood content, but I didn't do anything. Abbie, did you get into any Flesh and Blood behind my back?
I did not. Well, not particularly, but I did talk to my boss about opening my office hours, and I got approval from 12 to 12:15. So 15 minutes during the day, I can now look at the Discord. So
11 Central, 12 Eastern. You can your office hours have expanded.
Yeah.
So
15 minutes, 12 to 12:15.
All right. So if anybody needs to get at Abbie,
that's right.
It's big 12:15 Eastern, or 12 to 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. You can get at Abbie. Right. The rest of the time, you just have to deal with us two fucks.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah, it's the exclusivity that makes Abbie's office hours like that cool. You know, like Logan and I are always available. It's not that exciting, but
I mean,
I had to push really hard for it. So I just wanted everyone to know.
The people need me, boss lady.
No, right, because otherwise we talk about bread for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the people's host. Yeah.
I mean, bread's great.
It is great. So this week's episode is sponsored by The Realm in Mansfield.
We have a fucking sponsor.
I know. Basically famous.
Not brought to you by Roman or any of the other shitty sponsors that
Can we get a Roman sponsorship?
No, we have nowhere near the viewership for Roman. We have nowhere near.
Right.
Dope, but to be Roman ready. But we're the realm ready. Are you ready to go into the realm?
The realm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fucking, it's noon on my sundial. Let's get to the realm.
All right, so we are giving away the seat to the 5K tournament. That tournament is on March 26th, so like a month from
4 weeks.
It's a week after Indianapolis.
Yeah, the week after.
Yes. We will be giving that away in the Discord, so there will be a pinned post in the announcement section, and you can go react to that. Do we have a set reaction that we're gonna do, or is it just like any?
Whatever the one that I start it with is, it'll just be like an eggplant or something.
Why don't you do the U one?
The U one? Oh, the me. Yeah, that's right. The Jordan. Yes. Yeah, there's gonna be my face emoji. That's right.
Just gonna be an eggplant. All right.
Yeah, react to the I'm Jerman one, like the my face.
The inevitable.
The inevitable. Yeah, I think it's what it is. You'll know when you see it.
You'll see it and you'll be like, oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
That guy's probably fuck himself. But
for sure, 100%.
Right.
Never doubt.
So we will be announcing the winner on the March 8th show. So make sure you wait.
Nope.
No, the 15th.
Yep.
Live one. Right?
What? No, that's before.
No, that's before. Yep. You're right. I don't know what dates are. I don't know what time is. Time's a flat circle. It's fine.
Yeah, the 15th is when you will hear about this.
So make sure you enter by March 13th at the absolute latest. Personally, I would do it now. Just get it out of the way. But that's just me. So don't feel peer pressured into doing what I would do. We will also post the event link in the show notes. So if you are not so lucky, you can still sign up and come and play in the event.
It's going to be sweet. There's going to be a stream of it for those of you that aren't in the Midwest region that want to come for this. But I mean, if you would drive for a calling, this tournament is also worth driving for in terms of prize support. So definitely come check out the Realm. You'll meet Abbie and I for sure. Maybe you'll meet Logan.
If I get enough people that are just like, I want the full FAP experience, I will. I will roll my sleeves up and drive the 8 hours one way.
I want everyone to FAP with me. I started that and didn't know.
Lot. Yeah.
Well, thank you to the Realm for sponsoring this bit where we talk about fapping. God bless.
What the fuck's wrong with us?
No, there's a championship playmat that's foil. That thing looks sweet.
Oh, that thing is sweet.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Also, like, whoever designed the Realms logo, fucking props, man. This is.
Oh, I don't know if I know it.
I'm into it. Like, it's on the playmat, right?
Oh, is that the one? Right. Am I just dumb? Okay.
It's an R. I mean, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. I just can't read.
I think it looks pretty sweet. I mean, this looks like effectively a hip hop logo. Looks like something that you'd be busting out on a shirt with a little bit of foil on it into club, hanging upside down like Fitty.
Jesus.
So, if timely reference.
It is a good reference. Yeah, so there's gonna be like a lot of stuff going on there. Like the fact that a local game store is just doing a 5K because they just like Flesh and Blood is insane. Like it's half of a calling before like callings got juiced, right? Like this tournament is nuts.
Also, callings getting juiced is also just a blade, but
yeah, that's true too. But there will be a stream. There's gonna be some content going on. Abbie is gonna be involved in that pretty heavily. What Logan and I are doing is still up in the air. There's just a lot that we can do with this event, and we're excited about it. So, please come.
Yeah.
Abbie can tell you all of the good places to eat in Mansfield, Ohio.
Is it her parents' kitchen?
No, but that is a good one.
Okay.
Oh man, would your parents host fappers for?
Not if that's what you call them.
They'd be really scared of the cream sauce. But
oh, no. Hello, Mrs. Abbie's mom. Can we have all of the fappers over? Excuse me? Your dad be about it.
My dad would love having people over.
I mean, we can. Yeah, I'm not going to volunteer anybody's time. So okay.
Especially for things like fappers. But anyway, the Realm, March 26th. Please come.
I love our fappers, sir.
Me too. I'm just saying that not knowing the quality of our fapper, not knowing the quality of the fap, you might not want to embrace it.
Yeah, they might be. Never mind. Okay, the filter actually kicked in. Holy shit, it worked.
And I'm going to get a DM from the Realms owner and be like, "Please stop. Please end our relationship."
All right, so let's get into not that. So the God, you guys really got to stop getting so off track. So we have the Back Alley Oracle. So Comprehensive Rules 2.0 overview. We will link the link to that in the show notes so that you can take a look. There is a lot.
There's a lot. It's very technical as well.
Yeah, I think it's some good simplification.
There's a lot of charts, which I love.
The only change that I noticed that, and I could be wrong, Logan, let me ask you this way. Okay. If I attack with a weapon, like say Dorinthia's blade, and then I attack with it again, that currently closes the chain, right?
No.
Or it doesn't? Okay. I don't.
But your problem is the last known information layer under 1.5, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
On what the power of that weapon is on the chain versus on the chain link. So
okay,
that is a clean. There's a lot of things in here that are just cleaning up how things work. They've, instead of having a chain and a combat chain, they've just renamed the chain the stack, which makes it easy for us Magic players.
It's much more intuitive than having like the chain and the combat chain.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think it is a change, what I was just mentioning. Because it says when a weapon is used to attack again on the same combat chain, a second attack layer is created. And this is a subtle change, but makes a significant difference in how to apply effects and reference weapon attacks. Yeah. So anyway, that's very, like, if this applies to you, you'll read it and figure it out. But like, they did do a lot of good, clean clarification.
If not, hop into the Flesh and Pod Discord and send a message directly to Chuck and Lee. He is obsessed with the rules and will be happy to explain to you how everything works in the most pedantic way possible. You're welcome.
He's a judgy judge, right?
He is a judgy judge. He will be judging in Indy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's a Grand Prix judge. Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, Chuck, pay me my money.
Additionally, we have the ProQuest Week 1 metagame. So we will also link this. Does anybody want to take a guess at who had the highest percentage of being played?
Azalea.
We don't talk about Bravo. No.
Oh god, it's so bad, dude.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be Levia. 1,000%. Just ready for her to just.
Levia was in a top 8 yesterday, so don't think your girl doesn't have some work.
Some game.
She was not the smallest percentage either.
No, sure wasn't.
Of what? Top 8s or representation?
Overall players.
What is Azalea Ace in the hole? Is that the smallest?
No.
It's not Azalea.
What was? Oh,
Are you going to keep
1.2. There's a
guessing?
1.2. Kano.
Kano.
We are we're dangerously close to forgot about Dre territory, where people are going to start leaving their null room at home so they can bring a few extra cards for different matchups. We are probably a week away from Kano just lighting an entire tournament or 6 on fire because people just didn't respect it. And it doesn't matter if you Oak and Old Me fused if I just play my entire hand and burn you for 15.
Yep. Or, take 11, whatever.
I don't fucking care.
I'll play these cards in response. Yeah.
Yeah. So people, if you're a listener, that doesn't mean you should leave your null rune at home. Don't be the person that cuts caught with their pants down and gets set on fire for it.
The opportunity cost of at least 1 null rune or maybe 2 is so low too.
Yeah, but that's not enough. Is the problem.
You're definitely right. I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you're Bravo, you're just putting your boots on and racing, and you're probably playing one piece. But everybody else,
you're playing 3. You're playing Arcane Lantern, Heart, and Boots if you're prepared for Kano.
If you want to prepare for Kano, yeah, that's fair. The thing that sticks out to me is the conversion rate of Bravo. 22% of overall players, 36% of top 8 placings. 47% of wins. Oof. It keeps getting worse.
But I think that this is I do feel like the tide turned a little bit, and I think that they are prepared. The other decks are more prepared for Bravo than they were. But man, that's still, you look at that and go, oof, that's a lot.
It's a lot. We'll see. Like you said, I think you make a good point that we'll see this week where we end up. Living Legend points, Bravo is now 5th all time at 180. He has usurped his brother.
Prism. Yeah. Yep, no, went below Prism.
He's still below Prism. Yeah, he's one above other Bravo. Yeah. Still a far way away from Chain and Briar, but
yeah. Well, Chain and Briar are special cases. So
yeah, I mean, if he picks up 140 points a week, though, so who knows? 150.
Well, I mean, we have, what is it, 3 weeks of ProQuest season, right? So at 140 points a week, you're at 520. Win a calling, 720 when the Pro Tour retired, right?
What is a Pro Tour win? Is it 300? Okay. Then, 200. Pro Tour 200. Okay. World Championship is 300.
So even then, calling plus Pro Tour doesn't retire Starvo. But
right, because that's only 300 points. Right. So plus whatever you get in PTQ season. But still, yikes to look at this and think that could
anything other than
right. It's the conversion rate for me. 22% of players playing it. If that number had been then we go to 15% of top 8s, you go okay, so the deck is just popular but not good.
Right.
The fact that wow.
If your conversion rate number is over your percent number, if your numerator is greater than your denominator, we have
things
that is cause for concern.
Yeah, for sure. This article's cool. There's a lot of data. There's pie charts and tables and who wrote this? Davis Kingsley, worth checking out.
Which is great because it was written for Abbie by a person named Davis. So
that's a great point.
Because it's a bunch of charts, bunch of logistics and graphs and everything else that Abbie just loves.
I do love logistics.
And graphs.
Fun fact about me. And graphs are fine, but logistics, that's my sweet spot.
Everybody has one.
That's right.
Okay, that can be taken too many ways. Okay, we need to move on.
So our Reddit thread of the week this week is by Kurohi, 1990, something like that. And it's pretty basic. Any tips for traveling to Pro Tour New Jersey? Pretty
person's first big tournament, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I was asking for. Yeah.
Yep.
We've done a lot of this, so I felt pretty qualified to do this.
The past 20 years or so.
One of the good questions in the thread is a lot of our answers will change drastically based on like several variables, like how far away you are, what does your disposable income look like,
if you own a car.
Yeah. Are you driving the whole way? Are you going to fly at all? How often are you going to be there? Like for me, we talked about this in, where did we last see each other in person? Cincinnati, where years ago I would have stayed at a Red Roof Inn 40 minutes away from the venue to pay like $25 a night with like 10 people jammed in the room. But as I get older and have more dispensable income or whatever, I'm more likely to pay for the convenience of being right across from a venue, or like the budget option of like splitting things with friends and stuff. But anyway, what would you tell someone that's going to their first trip? Like there's a lot to do, a lot to talk about in this area.
Yeah. So there, I mean, you're right. It's a very expansive topic, to be honest. I know that like we had just discussed, an hour ago or less, that we were going to do some sort of meetup for our listeners in Indy, right?
Right.
So if you're part of that type of community, that's going to be something to keep in mind. It's like you want to be close enough that you're able to do those things. You need to have sort of an idea of what you want to do away from the venue. You need an idea of how much time you want to spend at the venue. You have to have an idea of just general budgeting, like how much money am I willing to spend? You need all those things to really get into it. In this case, their direct question was tips and tricks, right? And the best tips and tricks I can even think of are, I have a direct idea of what your ideal accommodation would be and how far off of it you're willing to go for the sake of cutting costs or for the sake of convenience, right?
Right.
Like you just said, there's no fucking way I am staying at a Red Roof Inn 40 minutes from a venue. Shit is not happening.
Yeah, not happening.
I will, I also will not at any point in time entertain having somebody on a trip with me that I don't enjoy the presence of, because I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
This is a leisure activity, right? Like,
right. Back when I was in my 20s, if it meant paying $5 less in gas, you swallowed the pill.
Right.
But
right.
Nah, that's not the life I live.
Right.
So you kind of have to determine what your level of importance is for those types of things. So really the tips and tricks are finding people and activities that can keep you occupied in the ways you want to be occupied, and planning around those. Otherwise, you may just be in a spot where it's like, oh shit, well, it's 2:00 in the afternoon and I have nothing to do and I'm bored and I wonder why I came here.
That can happen, right? If you're not with people you like and the tournament doesn't go the way you want and like you're just trapped. Like, I live my life in a way where I always, like, this is my trick, I guess. I always have my car. I am always the driver. I always have been my entire like Magic career, because like if shit comes to go and I need to bounce, I'm in charge. And like I've never had to use that. Like that's never been a thing that's ever happened. It would be shitty to like use that power like loosely, right? But like if you're a person that needs that flexibility, right? Like, and you need to like maybe drive separate from the group, that's a reasonable thing, right? It all comes down to knowing yourself, knowing the type of travel buddy you are. It really is just like, I mean, the person said they hadn't been out of state for a tournament. I assume the person has been on like a mini vacation or like a work trip or something like that, where they
said, or even really traveled for vacation before.
Oh wow, I didn't know. Okay, yikes.
So like they're just super new. So if you're flying, flights.google.com is your best friend.
Yep.
If you're driving, make sure that you're mapping what route you want to take in case you want to stop off places and see different things you've never seen before. If hotel wise, make sure that you're, here's a good one. This is from years or a decade of going to Vegas 2 or 3 times a year. Hotels are scum.
Mm-hmm.
And they will, because you'll almost always see now that it'll pop up that the cookie warning. We use cookies on our tracking cookies on our website, blah 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 blah. What these websites will do is they'll see that you've looked for this hotel room in this city, and will then use that cookie to change the rate knowing that you're willing to pay more to go to that place. So always, always, always search the rate in one browser and then open a different browser. So if you use Chrome, open it in Firefox and see what the rate is different.
Yep.
Because it's a different set of tracking cookies.
Or I guess like incognito mode or something like that.
Or incognito mode helps too. But those are, it's just something that happens.
It's kind of crazy to think about because like I always thought that was a rumor until I did it the first time. Then I was like, oh, it's literally like $30 extra a night. Like, yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yep.
I prefer Airbnbs over hotels a lot of the time.
I think nowadays,
yeah. Like if you're traveling with friends, relaxing is hard to do in a hotel room. And the ability, it's much easier to relax in like a house and like the living room designed for like relaxing than it is sitting in bed in a hotel room, right?
Yeah, right. Having a place where you can store your booze, if that's the thing you're into.
Like you can cook in the house cheaper than you can like eat out like 3 times, you know?
It just gives you an easier spot to chill if you want to chill.
Yeah. Yep. You can play games there easier than you can in a hotel room.
Absolutely.
What else? I feel like it's so funny because I feel like if I thought we pulled this thread a little late, but I feel like if I thought about it, I could talk for hours on this. But now that I'm in the moment, I really can't.
Always have a copy of Love Letter with you.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yes.
Yeah, have something just like out of pocket to play, right? Love Letter is the perfect example.
And just so you can sit down, start shuffling up Love Letter. You'll get people that you've never met before in your life, like, oh, sweet, you got a Love Letter game going? Can I hop in? Or something along those lines. It happens constantly. Like, just kind of be ready for, understand all the eventualities that can happen, or try to understand. You'll never get them all.
Right.
But try to be as prepared as possible for like things not going the way you think they will. And then having a contingency plan to deal with it.
Right. Don't eat where you can at home. That's one of my big rules when we travel somewhere. Obviously, like, you know, if there's one-offs, but like I will not go to a chain restaurant while we are on vacation.
Unless it's a chain
that we don't have.
Right. So I will 100% go to a Church's if I'm down south, because
or a Bojangles. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't have Waffle House.
Oh really?
You don't have Waffle House?
We don't have Waffle House.
Oh,
if it's 2 a.m., we are going to go out and get ourselves a large hash brown, scattered, covered, chunked, and we're going to eat it.
Oh man, I have a Waffle
scattered.
House.
Covered is gravy and chunked is ham, right?
I think smothered is gravy, isn't it? Or smothered cheese?
I thought smothered was cheese.
So it's smothered, chunked. Scattered is because they don't do them in like the little round thingy.
Scattered is hash browns.
The big platter. Yeah.
Yeah. Scattered versus.
Because if you order like a small thing of hash browns, they do them in that little circle.
Right.
But if you do them like a larger order, it's scattered, so it's just a giant mess of fucking hash browns.
I can't believe that you don't have this.
The closest one is Kansas City.
They have them in like Azerbaijan, and you don't have them in Iowa. Like,
did we drop an Azerbaijan ref?
Yeah.
But no, we don't. Like, we do not have Waffle House. And so when I'm out, and I've had a few, and I know, shocked everybody. And it's 2 a.m. Now you got to be careful, because 2 a.m. Waffle House, you might get robbed. Like, there is a non-zero chance that there's an armed robbery coming. So playing around that, typically the sweet spot for a Waffle Housing is between like 11 and 1. But it's just, I like a good cleanse in my life. And the Waffle House cleanse is my favorite cleanse. So, I don't have a Waffle House. So if I'm out anywhere and it's late night, I'm 100% going to Waffle House.
That's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, ultimately it comes down to just planning. Like, if you're going with 4 people, like knowing your costs, making sure you're trusting the people that are paying. Get money up front if you don't know these people. Like, over time with traveling through Magic, it became like, it wouldn't be weird for one of us to pay like 50% of the trip up front because we knew we would get the money back from our guys. But like, if you don't know the people you're traveling with, don't be stuck holding the bag. Get gas up front, plan your gas trip out. Like, no.
Also, just go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
good. No. Go ahead.
Also, just be upfront. Like, when I'm traveling with people, before we ever like leave or really get too far down the road, I tell them ahead of time, look, I don't do things on the cheap. So if it's in your interest to do things on the cheap, I'm not your travel partner.
Yeah, I guess similar goals, right? Yeah, like that's or right. Similar like traveling goals. Like these are vacations for me. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think it's a great way to put it.
I'm not subsisting on Tyson chicken nuggies. I'm gonna go get myself, I'm gonna drop $120 on barbecue. And if you're not comfortable going to a place that's going to have that kind of bill attached to it, then probably a very bad idea to travel with.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And that might just be a thing that you figure out through trial and error too, of like, who likes to travel differently. Like, is there someone in your group that's like, hey, I go to Speedway and get like a hot dog for every meal, and like that's totally cool. It's just like not what I would enjoy doing with my time, right? Yeah, so like maybe we're not the best travel people, or maybe we can work around that and figure it out. Like, but I would feel weird going like out to eat and then like my roommate's eating like a hot dog from Speedway. So I don't know, but like, yeah, I think that's a great point of like make sure that your people you're traveling with have similar goals. And that can be true for like the tournament as well. Like, are you there to play all the rounds for the event, or are you the kind that's going to go, hey, if I O2 drop, I'm going to go home? Neither are wrong, right? It's not wrong to stay until Sunday, even though you have nothing to do. Maybe you'll do a draft. But if your roommate wants to like bounce because you're both dead for the tournament, like, well, that's things you need to work out, right? Yep. So, but since it's like your first vacation, man, that's going to be a fun experience no matter what. I think that's just going to be
you're minutes from New York City. Like, just go get it.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, like if this tournament sucks and you're hating yourself, sell your cards and go to New York. Like, that'll be dope.
All right, so we have 2 listener questions this week. The first one is from Lone Road Ninja. What would you do if James White gave you the responsibility of planning and releasing Fab 2.0? And what would your releases be through Christmas this year?
Oh, man.
I'll let you guys fight over who goes first.
Do you have anything off the top of your head? Like,
I have been sweating this question for the last like 6 days.
Yeah, because we bitch about this game a lot, but I don't know what I would do to make it better.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of the opposite problem. I have a lot of things I would do. And I don't know. I approach everything from a position of realism, right? I don't try to fantasy book. I don't try to think of magical Christmas lands. I want things when I think about them to have some sort of just actual substance, right?
Sure.
This one's hard because there are so many things that LSS does right.
Big true. Yep.
And there's a lot of reinventing the wheel type stuff that feels like we don't have enough information. Even though they're very good at transparency, we don't have enough information to really do anything but kind of put ourselves in that fantasy booking situation. That being said, what I would start doing immediately, or one of the changes I would make, is I would put the supplemental set as a release during the summer. And then I would do 3 full sets a year, similar to the way that Magic operated back in the 2010s.
The glory days, yeah.
Really the glory. I mean, like, they've pulled so many things from the glory days of Magic.
Right.
And that's not a criticism. That's a fucking compliment.
Right. They solved what Magic was not doing well anymore and was like, why'd you guys stop doing this good shit?
Yeah. They went and said, these motherfuckers tried to reinvent the wheel when that bullshit has always been around and always should have been.
Perfect, yeah.
Right. Motherfuckers trying to make octagon wheels. Fuck that shit. Like, just no. Like, no, it's a round wheel. It rolls. That's what it does. So we're going to roll. Right? And I would definitely make it so that the Pro Tour schedule was that it tied to a release.
Yeah.
So that, you had your next set. What's it called? I know that the name's out there. I'm blanking.
Is it released?
I think that it's out there, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, go ahead and keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, that when the next set releases, on like 2 weeks after the set releases, there should be a Pro Tour. And that should just be the way it works, because you get that draft and you get to and then you get to play constructed with the new cards. Like, really, it is a promotional thing.
Right.
And I also feel like the release weekend for every new full set should be a limited calling.
Yeah,
maybe
like, let's see cards in action, and
right. Yep. Because the best way to generate that kind of interest is to play with the damn things. You don't want to take too much out of the LGS's hands. So what I would definitely have pre-releases type things the week before. The week of release, have it be a limited calling. One in Europe, one in New Zealand, one in the States, and get the hype train at max velocity, leading directly into a Pro Tour.
Right. I completely agree.
There's so much of this game that goes right, and then there's long pauses that cause the wind to kind of go out of their sails. I don't think anybody understands what the hell skirmish season even means.
Yeah, we're about to be in one of those long pauses again, and we just got out of one, right?
It feels frustrating, right?
For sure. Oh, for sure.
We've jumped back in and got to play competitive Flesh and Blood again, and it's felt awesome. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah, I'm bad at it. Actually, poor.
It felt good to just be in that environment, and it's going to get taken away. We'll have a calling in March, a calling in April, and a Pro Tour in May. And then what's after that?
Skirmishes, I guess. You're in. Yeah. Well, I know what you mean, right? Like, is that it?
And that's the other thing, though, is that we need the event schedules have to be ahead of time. We can't be doing this where, oh, by the way, it's late January and there's a calling in March. Thanks. Give me plenty of time to reorg everything that I might have already planned.
Right.
I should have known about that March calling in December, November.
Yeah.
And I understand COVID things. Like, I get that. But I'm not going to say we're on the other side of it, because, man, the world's always on fire anymore.
Right.
I would love to live in some precedented times. I feel like we lived in unprecedented times for about 20 years. I feel like I would love some precedented times. But I do get the extant circumstances and whatever, and they've had to move a lot of things because of that, callings and Utrecht and whatever. But the people that play this game want to play this game. They want to plan to play this game. They want the gathering. They want the calling. They want the in the room with like-minded people and 1,000 of your best friends. They want that. And I think that there's a real demand, passion, and need for it. I just think that they should give the people more time to plan, adjust, and give them something to look forward to. It feels like this game gets giant gusts of wind and then coasts. And the wind's gone and you slow down, and then another giant gust. There should be just a steady wind that just keeps the ship moving, to use a shitty analogy. But so I think that's it. I think that's what I would do. And the release is up through Christmas this year. Same, part of that question is I think there should be I would kind of hit the pause button a little bit, and I would have a summer release tied to a Pro Tour and a fall release tied to a Pro Tour. And then reset the schedule for next year in that same kind of vein I was talking about, where you had a winter set, that is a full set that coincides with the Pro Tour. I would have a spring set that coincides with the Pro Tour. I would then have like a summer set that's a supplemental, and then a fall set that coincides with the Pro Tour. And I think that's how I would do it.
That kind of just makes sense from like I don't know, just even from like a competitive standpoint. The fact that like we know we're going to be in this like Stravo meta for this first Pro Tour is boring. I'm already bored for the Pro Tour in some way, largely because we know what the cards are. There's not going to be any the innovation is going to come through the PTQ season, and then the calling, and then the Pro Tour will not have that. The Pro Tour will just be a reflection of it'll just be another exclusive calling. It has that kind of vibe. Absent changing the draw policy in this game, if I were James White, because we've banged our heads on that. particular thing. But I would change the release schedule around supplement or unlimited versus first edition. I would probably just print them at the same time and like have them be like market exclusives versus like not or whatever. Certain stores, maybe like premier stores, get access to first edition product if you wanted to like, you know, do something like that.
We're different parts of that player base. Like, to be clear here, if a first edition product released with a higher price point than an unlimited product, you would buy the unlimited product and I would buy the first edition product. We're different people.
100%.
And we're both valid in what our wants are. And so because we're three people on a fucking podcast, you know, that don't really want to do anything other than chat about this on the internet with our friends. And we're like-minded in a lot of ways. Like, all three of us are very like-minded in a lot of ways outside of Jordan being a Browns fan. But I mean, Abbie and I like success. But the difference here, you know, is so minimal that why wouldn't you do it? You're going to capture those market segments still.
Right. And it makes one of the products relevant.
Right.
You know, like, because one of the biggest complaints about Unlimited is it feels worthless.
Yep.
You know, because I think the idea is really good. And it's like thing is like, hey, first edition is for collectors and Unlimited is for players to have easy, cheap access to product for. Yeah. But the way it comes out and the way schedules are released, right, is like, as a player, I need to buy first edition Everfest boxes to have it at my tournament that week. Because it's not like Everfest isn't legal until Unlimited comes out.
Right.
And that would be a bad thing too. I'm not suggesting that would be the answer.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not in love with that.
Yeah. But like the idea that it is that it does feel that way is that I, as the player who doesn't care about collecting really, needs to have this first edition product doesn't feel great. Feels a little antithetical to it. So that would be the biggest thing I would change. My releases through Christmas, I think would be similar. I would tie product releases to Pro Tours or other like sensible big events, maybe like Worlds. You could loop into that. Whatever. I really liked the holiday gift boxes from Magic. I don't know if you remember those. This is like a minor product that maybe is not relevant to that many people. I thought that was a really neat product. For those that don't know what I'm referencing, it was like a cardboard box. It had some cool art on it. It was a very sturdy box. Like it was
a good box.
It was better than like your long like bulk cardboard boxes. And it had like 6 to 12 packs in it. It had some like really commemorative, like nicely done card separators. It was a very
tokens or lands.
Yeah. I think I had lands, like a pack of like 10 of each basic land or whatever. So like it could have like nice commemorative tokens in it for Fab. And it was literally designed to be, hey, get this for the Magic player in your life. And that'd be really cool to like my parents who don't know anything about this game or like what's a TCG player could go into like their local store. They could go to the Realm or something and like grab like this box of this holiday box off the shelf. That's a really cool product. And I still have like one of my Return to Ravnica holiday boxes. So
I probably have some sitting in a closet too.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that of that product. So
you just remind me of something. You know what the other one I want is?
What's that?
Player rewards.
Oh,
direct mailed player rewards.
That was peak. That was peak so Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people what those were? Because this is bonkers. This doesn't even make like as a consumer in 2022. This sounds so foreign, but this was. I forgot these existed because these were a little bit before me. But this is crazy.
So what happened was, if you played in events and had opted into the player rewards program, every quarter they would mail you directly, Wizards of the Coast, a pack of cards. And based on your play, you would get these text list promo versions of different cards. And then if you played to the higher tier, so I can't remember what the tiers were, but if you played the most events in the highest tier, you would get all the lower tiers and then get a foil full art whatever. So Damnation was one of them. Lightning Bolt was one of them.
Like very chase promos. These are still worth lots of money.
Oh god,
to this day, their value is these are super sought after.
Cryptic Command was one of them.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible card to be a fucking textless card. But you
don't remember all the specific wording on these 4 different modes?
Counter target spell, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
Yep.
Draw a card.
Okay.
Tap all creatures target player controls. Or no.
I think it's just tap a thing, isn't it?
No, there's an all. Tap your team draw card was one of the things that you did. Counter draw was one of the things you did. Bounce draw was one of the things you did. I think those are the 4 modes.
Yep. It was a disaster. It was full art.
It was exactly. And this card, they printed this beautiful version that had 0 text on it.
I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, and so that would be really, because you just tie that to XP, right? Like, hey, if you're top 100 on the XP leaderboard, you get this, or top 250
quarter,
you gained
200 XP in a quarter, you get sent this.
Right. Hey, gain 400, you get sent this. Gain 600, you get this.
Exactly.
Like, oh my god, that'd be so cool. That was such a that is wild as a consumer to think about in 2022 because it's just such a foreign idea. But oh my god, what a cool thing that was.
Yeah, it was great. It was brilliant. It felt awesome to get those in the mail.
Right. Like that's gonna be a really cool mail day. Oh, like because you could forget about it ostensibly, right?
Oh yeah, you absolutely forgot about it.
And then like, oh wow, this just like card just walked into my.
And then you all of a sudden you just open this pack, this envelope, and you're like, holy shit, I got. And they didn't tell you what the promos were ahead of time. Sometimes.
Yeah, that would be so.
And so
cool.
You're like, I have this textless ponder, this textless bolt, this textless. Yeah, it's like this is so cool.
It really just rewarded players for playing the game.
Mm-hmm. It sure did, and it built the player base up too. People played more.
Yeah. That'd be really
a thing.
Yeah, it was before I started playing, so
I'm old. I get it.
No, but I mean that in like that's how crazy foreign of an idea it is in the modern economy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Because players today aren't rewarded for more than anything, right? Yeah, like man. And it just incentivizes bad people to play. Like, because if you're not good, why would you go to your local ProQuest for the lot? Like, I've heard that sentiment. There's plenty of reasons, by the way.
True.
But I've heard the sentiment of, well, I'm not going to win or top 8, so there's no prizes for me, so why go? Well, knowing that, like, hey, those are times 6 XP multipliers, and you can get these really cool promos faster. That's like a good reason to go and get involved in like different levels of play, right?
And to play the entire tournament. Right.
Yeah, it disincentivizes dropping from your local events. It incentivizes grinding those side drafts at your local stores, right? Like it's
a boon to LGSs for sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh my gosh.
Not take anything away from the LGS.
Oh, for sure. Like because it's absolutely free and all it does is drive attendance, right? Mm-hmm. So that'd be cool. That's a cool. I'm glad you said that. Old products that are super sweet.
Did a thing.
We need more of.
This guy.
Hey, proud of you.
You did it.
I'm proud of me too. For the first time today, I'm proud of me.
Our second question is from Fighting Walloon, and it's, what are play mistakes new players commonly make, and what separates elite players from good ones?
All you, Jordan. I'm not taking this one first.
Oh man, yeah, that's fair. I will like I said to Fighting Walloon in the Discord. I don't know if any of us are capable of saying what separates elite players from good ones, because I wouldn't hold myself out as good. So I don't know if I can make that comment. That being said, I've seen it in Magic and like know a lot about it from that standpoint. So we can kind of start there and work backwards. It's different. It's so different. This game is so the skills are not transferable.
The skill sets are completely different.
So like Tarek Patel said, who was a popular Magic grinder back in the day, now popular Flesh and Blood player. He goes, yeah, these skills are not transferable. These games are not the same. Like you can be good at one and terrible at the other, and that's just the way it be, you know.
I can still roll into a Magic pre-release and know I'm going to win the majority of my matches, and I'm out of practice. I'm rusty. I don't really play anymore, mainly because that skill set's burned into me. And playing Magic actually, it's very bad for my Flesh and Blood game. Like it throws my Flesh and Blood game completely off.
There's such different archetypes of games, and like the resource system is so different. But like I think one of the things that like a new player in both games that might make mistakes, like your life total as a resource is a thing that's commonly said. Is that just because your opponent's attacking you for 10 doesn't mean that you have to like block?
No.
Sometimes you can just be like, yeah, okay, I'll go to 30. Not valuing their cards properly is kind of a difficult. And how you do that, like man, like that. If you find out, let me know.
Right. It feels like it all boils down to these like super micro decisions, and that's very chess-like, right? Like chess is just it's a macro plan that is adjusted and built with a bunch of micro decisions. whereas Magic is the top of the deck has to speak to you. In order, you have to like set yourself up way ahead of time for a certain outcome of your cards, and that's no guarantee. Whereas Flesh and Blood, you can literally build a deck and play a deck to the point that you get to stack your deck by using micro decisions the entire time.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's one thing that separates, right? Is like pitch stacking. If you want to get like specific in-game examples, like pitch stacking is very difficult. Like with Bravo, it's pretty easy because like you know what, like you put one card on the bottom with Crown, pitch with 2 to cast the spell, pitch when to cast your spell, pitch an ice card to swing with your hammer. Right, like that line is very simple. But then like other decks, oh my god, like Oldhim, oh my god, right?
Oh,
like
fuck that.
Like Lexi arrows, oh my god, like you can't just be
good at that one.
Well, so like you can't like I just was thinking about this the other day as I was thinking about Lexi. You can't just be pitching your non-arrows to attack. Like you need, like you gotta be pitching them arrows, which feels counterintuitive, right?
Nope. It is exactly right. Like you have to mitigate. You can't run out of gas. You can't run out of ways to deal damage to your opponent, and you don't have a weapon. So when you're playing as a ranger, you pitch your arrows. You pitch your arrows to fire your arrows. You do it all the time. And so eventually, when they come back around again, you still have arrows.
Right. Yeah, like you're always attacking. So like something like that, like how you manage what you pitch is so important. How you manage the cards at your disposal. What else? What other specifics would you say? Like when you watch somebody do it, you're like, oh man, like I guess
so like watching my Prism opponent was a joy. Because they were just brilliant in how they mitigated everything. How they mitigated the cards in their soul, how they set up tome turns, how they whittled things down to these very narrow circumstances and always had a plan. And I felt like I even came out of the booth pretty hard and had them down a bunch of life right away, and they just didn't panic, didn't overreact, didn't overdo anything. They just said, okay, fine. And kept going to the point that they were able to just fade my Okanolds and use soul shields out of Arsenal to fade damage, and then be okay with losing a few spectral shields here and there because you're still attacking. And then resolve a library and just really pound
and then we're finished here.
Yeah, we're done here. You're at 1, but I'm never getting a point of damage to River again. It's a whatever. It's that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know that I could navigate a game like that when I'm sitting at 1 and trying to figure out how I'm not going to die, rather than my opponent, rather than sitting around and trying to figure out how he's not going to die, I sat around and figure out how he's going to kill me.
Right.
That's a mindset. And that is brilliant play in my mind.
I think one of the things that people that don't test a lot underestimate too is how much good players are testing.
Tons.
What's up?
Yeah, they test tons.
Yeah. Like you listen to like Arsenal Pass or guys like Hayden, they win 2 PTQs and you're like, man, that guy must be like naturally goated. But then you listen to their show and he's like, yeah, no, we play literally every morning before work. We get on TTS.
I spent 80 hours on this,
Yeah, right. And it basically comes down to just like work. And even for my level, like if I tested a little bit more, I'd be like dramatically better than I think like where I'm at because I don't put a ton of work in. And that's not to like, I don't say that to like despair. I'm not doing that like I'm not making fun of people that try. In fact, I'm saying the opposite.
No,
and like what separates somebody that does well at their armories from like winning callings is just like the work, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, I think that's one of the easier things to do if you have like the community is like put the work in if you want. Like that is a thing that you have control over. I guess that's an interesting segue in that like not blaming things you don't have control over for your success results, for your success or lack of success is like important. Like don't blame variance. We talk about that on here a lot. We make fun of people that like talk about the bad dice rolls or whatever. We do play a card game. We don't play chess at the end of the day. So like there is variance, but if your takeaway out of a match that you lose is, man, like I just got high rolled, played perfect, don't think there's anything I could have done differently. The odds that are the case are just like so infinitesimally small, like near zero, right?
You reminded me of something. Somebody dead ass last week told me that there's variance in chess. And I think that's the fastest I've ever walked away from a conversation.
It's really interesting. I mean, I guess white black, like white played perfect has a 52% edge or something like that.
Whatever. Okay.
Like computer versus stockfish versus stockfish, the white will win every time. But
sure,
in human world, like two 1,200 players are not gonna it's not a dice roll.
No.
You know? Yeah. It's
right.
Like Magnus Carlsen versus Nepo is not a dice roll, right? Like
not even remotely. It's
Magnus is just goated, right? Like
it's an 18-hour grind, but
right. Classical chess is not great television, but no, right. I think that's a weird thing to say. Like if they're talking computers, okay, but then what do we? Well, then we're not having the same conversation. Right? Now you're just trying to be pedantic. So yeah.
Which that's a lot of people that tend to do that.
That's big fair, I guess. Yeah. But
speaking of pedantic, do you want to talk about our Vexing Cool Hand winner?
Oh,
I sure do.
Yeah.
So can I get a?
We don't do.
I don't have a drum. I don't have a drum kit anymore. Sorry.
I just need some hype. Can I get some woos or something?
Woo!
All right. Our Vexing Quill Hand winner is Chuck and Lee. So we will reach out to you to get some info from you so that we can get this your way. And then, like we talked about earlier, the giveaway for the seat at the 5K will be in the Discord. So make sure you go react whichever emoji we decide
not
to
the
that
post. Not an eggplant.
Not an eggplant. It'll be inevitable. It'll be inevitable.
Okay, it'll be Jordan's face.
So, version of Jordan's face.
Yeah.
Whatever. As always, you can find us on Twitter at FleshPod. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple. Apparently, the email is still active. So you can email us at fleshandpod@gmail.com.
We need it for some of the accounts that we have.
I'm sure. Whatever. You can find me on Twitter at AbbieD83. I got another 2 in my Wordle. So I am basically the greatest person that's ever Wordled ever. And I think that's all I tweeted about this week. Logan, what's your Twitter?
I'm at Logan Peterson on Twitter. I use my not full, but my real name for everything, because if I ever say anything head-assed, I need somebody to tell me I'm wrong and hold me accountable. I'm also very, very, very active in our Discord, so you will, when you come in, I will greet you in the bot spam with a wave, and then if you say something, I will invariably say something back, and it will probably be head-assed anyway. It really won't matter. But that's the easiest way to find me. Jordan?
Yeah, best way to find me on Twitter, as always, is at I'm Jerman, IMJORMAN. That's been my AIM handle since I was 10. So we'll have to do an After Dark episode about the origins of that one, because it's pathetic and funny at the same time.
I still think I have the archive of all my AIM away messages somewhere.
Oh, that's got to be terrifying.
There were 189 of them.
Oh, yikes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but Twitter's the best way to get hold of me. I'm in the Discord as well. I have my DMs open to people that I share Discord with. So if you do want to talk about stuff, tweeting a lot of politics, a lot of baseball. Baseball and Ukraine occupy 100% of my Twitter right now. So both
also,
of which,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying both of which are not fun to read about.
No,
so
right now.
To varying degrees, obviously, but worth coming over.
As soon as we get to 100 users in our Discord channel, I will start adding the flesh and blood fanfics to the channels for people to read.
Jeez.
There you go.
Discord,
bring your
incentive.
friends.
Yeah,
that's right. Bring your friends to your, I guess not new, but we're not your long-term friends. We're your newest friends. I feel
we've now been doing this for 13 weeks.
Fine, that is a long time.
And not one of us thought we'd be doing this. We thought we'd have 10 listeners and we would just be doing this for ourselves the entire time, and instead we have not 10 listeners. We
more
have
than that.
Way more than that, and an active Discord and people that enjoy being us being Jordan and I being idiots on the internet and Abbie herding cats.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, we certainly did not. So
nope, not at all.
Thank you for listening. Also, as a reminder, 12 to 12:15 extended office hours.
Yeah,
so
Eastern Standard Time.
Just keep that in mind. That is now an option as well.
Just the best. Just can't. I just can't. It's great.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.